So today, we are going to be talking about spiritual warfare and how it relates to our healing. This is something that the Divine woke me up to talk about today. And I even got some notes here because the information is coming so fast. I didn't want to lose it because I know I couldn't record at the time that the information was actually coming in. So when we talk about our illnesses within our body, when we talk about our mental illness, whether it's schizophrenia, depression, bipolar, whatever they may be for you, okay? When we talk about poisonous ways and toxic emotions and feelings, anger, resentment, unforgiveness, lack, poverty, overthinking, discouragement, fear, all of these things, guilt, shame, pride, when we talk about these things and when we relate to them, how we relate to them is important for our healing in a spiritual aspect, because these are actually attachments to entities. It is a spiritual warfare first, and then it is manifested into the physical. What is above, as above, as below, as within, as without, okay? So anything that we are experiencing here on this 3D, third dimension, earth plane, first has been manifested spiritually. It is a spiritual warfare. And a lot of the times we think that we can combat these things just by sending in love. Okay, they had a lot to say about that. Honestly, like they had a mouthful this morning. The Divine had a mouthful this morning to say about the love and light, movement. And I'm not gonna knock anybody's ways, the way that they want to go about healing, the way that they want to go about living their life. But the truth of the matter is, these entities out here, that's a laughing matter for them, for you to send them love. If you really think that you can sit and have a conversation with a demonic force, for lack of a better word, because everybody got their word for it. Evil forces, demonic forces, negative entities, low vibrational energy, whatever entities. They laughing at that. Okay? Because they know it's a spiritual war on us. It's a spiritual war on you. When your energy is fragmented, and then you allow that entity to be able to connect with you because of unhealed parts of yourself, because there's holes in your aura, in your energy field, and then you think that you can just sit there and negotiate with it and be like, oh, well, I thank you for all the lessons that you taught me. I'm grateful for the lessons that you taught me, but I'm going to send you love now because now there is no use for you. Do you really think that they're going to go away like that? No. Name a war, okay, that was won by just sending love. And I got some notes here, like I said, I'm going to be reading off of them a little bit so I can refer back to them. Name a battle or a war in history that was won because somebody loved them to death. Now, it's unheard of, at least to me. If you have other information about that, please drop it below, and I'll stand corrected. Okay? So during this war, there is a certain level of tact required, to have tactics required. There is bloodshed. There is sacrifice. It's emotional, okay? And the only thing that is driven by love, okay, is from the oppressed. The oppressed, the will of the oppressed to win that war stems from self-love and the love of their community, the oppressed. We're not talking about the oppressors, okay? And there is always resistance on both sides. Always resistance on both sides. So that means that you're resisting this entity And that entity is resisting whatever positivity, whatever fight that you're having, it's resisting that too. It's resisting to let go while you're resisting whatever poison it's putting in you. So that right there is going to be an all-out battle between the two of you, because you're not just going to leave that easily, right? So there's always a resistance on both sides in war. And neither side is just going to bow down and willingly submit. One side has to be conquered. You think you can walk away from your demons, like I said, you think you can walk away from these entities just like that, like bam. Or walk up to the entities and be like, yeah, I'm going to send you some love. They'll behead you. Just like on the battlefield. Just like on the battlefield, you see people literally pleading for their life. So look at it like you're pleading for your life in this war. People are pleading for their life and still they die. There is no remorse. Okay? There is no negotiation for that. Because they came with a purpose, and that is to destroy, steal, kill, and destroy, right? A lot of the times when we go on this spiritual path, we start denouncing everything that our grandmothers and our grandfathers and our great-grandmothers and grandfathers and generations before us did, because they did it in the name of Christianity. But they also were warriors, even in the name of Christianity. Them being Christian didn't make them any less powerful. I can name many a times when my grandmother prayed for my illness and prayed for my victory in the face of deception, and I won and I overcame. I can remember many a times when my grandmother, when she laid hands on me and she prayed and she called out entities and she ceased their power. Okay, that is a real thing. When you know what you're battling with spiritually, it is easy for you to conquer that entity. And that is what our grandparents that were Baptists and, very deep religious Christians, that they would do that. You would hear them, I bind the spirit of fear and I call you out. And I send you back to the abyss, or to back where you came from. I bind the spirit of envy. I bind the spirit of jealousy. I bind the spirit of lack and poverty. I bind all of these spirits that do not serve us, right? But they are attached to us because of the fragments within our own aura. They are attached to us because of unhealed parts of ourselves. So it's like a leaking faucet. Or like, matter of fact, like when if a mouse gets into your home, it's because it comes from some hole, usually, in the wall. They come through the cracks, okay? So, they came to me to tell you that when you're battling your depression, your sadness, your anger, okay? All of these things, all of these mental, emotional, and physical illnesses within us, we are battling a spirit. And spiritual war is just as bloody and is just as violent as any war in this physical plane. They want you guys to know that. So when you are ready to heal, remember that you're putting on your armor. You have to put on your armor. You have to strategize. It is not easy, okay? Because while we're trying to battle it here physically, our ancestors and so forth, whatever it is that you call on, those battles that they're fighting for us, they are brutal. I have seen it with my own eyes, seen my ancestors and spiritual team fight on my behalf from deceptive energy and spirits and people. I have seen it. It's brutal. They don't get to just, it's not like they get to just wave a magic wand and bam, they win or whatever. No, they fighting. There's bloodshed. There's death. And if you want the death of these entities that are attaching themselves to you, myself included, We have to understand that we are first fighting a spiritual war. So I'm going to leave you guys with that right now. And I'm going to go over a meditation that I did this morning. Okay? And I think you guys will really enjoy it. So my next video, that's when I'm going to be posting.